like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Yay! Is there any other songs you want to sing?
Maddie, I just thought of 5 Little Pumpkins.
Will you sing that one for me? Little pumpkins sitting on a stick. First one said, why I wait.
The second
One said,
there are riches in the air. The third one said, but we don't
care.
The fourth one said, let's run and run and run. The fifth one said, I'm ready for some fun.
Yay! I like that. Very good. So, how about saying good morning to everyone and welcome back to Behringer-Crawford Museum. This is our Tot Tuesday program, and our theme this month is pumpkins, and we're going to do some jack-o'-lanterns. So, we're going to read some books. Also want to tell you about Chippy. They're having science events for the next 11 days, and all kinds of science projects and lots of fun if you want to join the Chippies. Also, if you want to look online for any information about the Behringer-Crawford, it is bcmuseum.org, and you can find all kinds of information about the museum and all of our projects. So please, how about now if we read a story? Yay? Okay. This one is called Pumpkin Time. Pumpkin Time. And you see that there's a great big pumpkin on the front of the book and a little girl, and her name is Evie. One day, Evie wore her gardening boots and planted big seeds and little seeds in a soft black earth. She saw a feast waiting to sprout. So she's got all the plants that she put in the ground. She's going to grow something. The day the clowns strolled down the main street in fancy hats, Evie didn't even notice. Now look at these crazy cows. They're all dressed up, and look at the pretty hats they have on. Oh my goodness. What was Evie doing? Well, Evie looks like she has a sack in her hands. Wonder what she's going to do with that sack and what's in it. Oh my goodness. The pumpkin flyer. The day the donkeys sailed through the sky, Evie didn't even blink an eye. This donkey on the boat, and they're flying through the sky. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. What was Evie doing? Well, it looks like she's hoeing in her garden. She's growing something in her garden. Wow. Now here we got the chickens. The day the chickens flew the coop like feather dusters in the wind, Evie didn't even sneeze. Can you imagine that? And look at what their hen house is. It's a great big jack-o'-lantern, a big pumpkin. Can you see it? Oh my goodness. And here's the big old tom turkey. What was Evie doing? She looks like she might be weeding her garden. But look at the old tom turkey with his big feather tail out there. The day the pigs danced around and around the maypole, Evie didn't even squeal. Now look at those crazy pigs dancing around. Now, how do you dance around a maypole? Do you know? Everybody takes a stream and they go round and around in a circle. Yes, we might be able to do that too. And even the tom turkey is going round and round the pole. What was Evie doing? It looks like she's tying up beans on her pole. Can you see her there? She's tying up beans on her pole. She's growing all kinds of things in her garden. Are you dancing around the maypole? wonderful. The day the sheep were picnicking on the neighbor's lawn, Evie didn't see a thing. What was she doing? Well, do you know what she's doing here? Can you see? What is this? A scarecrow. She is making and stuffing a scarecrow. Oh, my goodness. And look at the sheep over here. They're eating sandwiches. Do sheep eat sandwiches? I don't think so either. But at least they were eating healthy. They had, looks like cherry tomatoes and all kinds of greens in there. They're probably weeds, but that's okay. But the Tom Turkey has his boots on, so he don't get his feet muddy. The day it snowed buckets in July, Evie didn't wonder why. Now, look at all the buckets on all their heads. And a balloon, and she's got a umbrella over here. Have you ever seen it rain buckets before? Yeah. You have? Oh, my goodness. Oh, I've seen a lot of heavy rains, but I've never seen them rain buckets of rain. But anyway, but Evie, what is she doing? Well, we know that she's stuffing her scarecrow. So, and she's looking at snails. The day the chickens, rabbits, and pigs played badminton, Evie didn't feel a thing. Now, they're playing badminton. We got the pigs team over here, and we got the chickens team over here. Who do you think's going to win the game? They think the chickens. One for the chicken. Anybody for the pigs? Okay, one person for the pigs. Okay. What is Evie doing? It looks like she's carrying a sack, maybe of mulch or something to help her garden grow. Do you know that? We've even got rabbits in here too. So on the chickens team, we've got rabbits too. So yeah, I think that they have a lot. Well, the Tom Turkey's with the pigs, so I don't know. So the day autumn blew in with woolly sweaters and pulled the rug from under the summer, Evie didn't even rake. So what happens this time of the year? It's turning fall with all the leaves and the trees, the beautiful trees, and it gets a little colder, and then it gets a little warmer, then it gets a little colder, and pretty soon it'll just be cold, won't it? And maybe we'll get snow. Wow. Okay. But what's Evie doing? You see her in her garden? And she's got a tape measure. What is she measuring? A pumpkin, that's right. She wants to see how big her pumpkins have grown. We know what she's been growing in that garden. Pumpkins. You did? And how about the days the cows and the chickens and the rabbits and the pigs stomped grapes? In a big bin with grapes, and they're stomping on them because what are they going to make? What do you make with the grapes? Grape juice, yes. And Evie was doing it, but you know what? She forgot to take her socks off. So now she's got purple socks. And if you got in there, you probably would have purple feet from squashing the grapes. But Evie was doing this. She was taking her grape juice, and she was taking it somewhere in her wheelbarrow. Are you squashing grapes? Yeah, stomping grapes. All right. And then they have the day the ghost and the goblins danced door to door all night. That must be Halloween, and they're all dressed up for Halloween. Okay, can you tell me what you're going to dress up like for Halloween?
I'm going to dress up from Anna from Frozen 2.
Anna? And what are you going to dress up like? Ola. Oh, how cute.
You're going to be a chicken?
A chicken? But you could have played badminton with them. Well, Evie, what is Evie doing? What does she have in her barrel there?
Oh,
vegetables. Oh, vegetables. All kinds of vegetables. Are you still squashing grapes? Oh, my goodness. Well, here they are. And it must be Halloween. One day, everyone gathered around the harvest table. Evie didn't even notice. Now, look who's all at the harvest table. We have Tom Turkey, we have pigs, we have the sheep, we have a big cow, we have the donkey, we even have the scarecrow is there, and the rabbit, and of course the pig. But where is Evie? Looks like she's in here in her kitchen. I bet she's making something. You think she's making something?
I think she's making a turkey.
Do you think she's
making?
A what?
A turkey.
A turkey. No, I don't think she's making a turkey. Now, what did she grow in her garden? Pumpkins. Pumpkin pie. That's what Evie was doing. And look at the size of that pie. Does anybody like pumpkin pie?
Yeah.
With whipped cream on top?
Yeah.
Wow. You don't like, do you like ice cream on it?
Yeah.
Ice cream's good too. But they're celebrating a feast. They're celebrating fall, celebrating maybe Halloween, and a little bit of everything. They're celebrating just all the wonderful fruits and vegetables that she got from her garden, a feast. And this has some recipes in here, and it talks about toasted pumpkin seed recipes. And you clean the seeds, remove them from the pumpkin, removing any sign of pumpkin, which we know is hard to do. Rinse them under cold water. Boil the seeds in a medium saucepan. Bring the water to a boil. Add a bit of salt. Simmer the seeds for 10 minutes. Then you toast the seeds. Pat the seeds dry with a paper towel. Spread them evenly on a baking sheet. Drizzle the seeds with extra virgin oil and liberally sprinkle them with salt or other seasonings of your choosing, and roast them in the oven, 320 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now, we got a few little facts about pumpkins. Did you know that pumpkins are fruits?
Pumpkins are fruits.
Pumpkins are fruits. Pumpkins are 90% water. Pumpkins have been grown in America for over 5,000 years. And the self-proclaimed pumpkin capital of the world is Morton, Illinois.
Whoa,
An average pumpkin weighs 10 to 20 pounds. Though the Atlantic giant variety can weigh up to 400 and 600 pounds, enough for 300 pies. But the largest pumpkin ever baked was in 2010, and it weighed 3,699 pounds. It was 20 feet long. The largest pumpkin ever grown was 2,032 pounds, but that one wasn't baked. The other one was baked. So we'll put this one book back, and we will read this one. Can we read one more book? Okay, one more book. It says, delicious. And we have a kitty cat, a duck, and a squirrel. Deep in the woods, it was lunchtime. Munch time. Should have been cooking time. Down at the old white cabin. But out in the garden, there was rustling and scuffling and a bit of kerfluffing. The sound of a duck and a squirrel and a cat. How does a duck sound? What's a duck say? Okay. Looking for a pumpkin in a pumpkin patch, they couldn't find a single ripe one. They couldn't find a pumpkin in the pumpkin patch. Precious, said the squirrel. But the duck sniffed the soup, and the duck said, yuck. He wouldn't even try it. Fish soup, the best you've ever tasted. Most of the soup was going to be wasted. They turned the pages of the recipe book and wondered what else they could cook. Mushroom soup, said the squirrel. That sounds scrumptious. Do you see them in the chair? And they're looking for thinking about what else they can cook. The little kitty cat sitting in the chair, the squirrel, and the little duck. And that squirrel, he's so cute. So they all went mushrooming. Soon the duck found a toadstool. The cat found something worse. But the squirrel found a round mushroom, and they carried them back to the old white cabin. And the potbelly stove, that's where they're cooking everything, is on the old potbelly stove. Mushroom soup. Would it be wasted? Time for the mushroom soup to be tasted. Scrumptious, squeaked the squirrel. Nutritious, said the cat. But the duck sniffed the soup and said, yuck! He wouldn't even try it. He went to bed feeling hungry, with horrible pains in his tummy, and dreamed of spider soup. That's what the duck wants. The duck wants spider soup. Ooh. At the peep of dawn, there was no peace for the cat and squirrel, trying to sleep in the old white cabin. The duck was hunting for a pumpkin, hoping one had ripened. All I want is pumpkin soup, he mumbled, and his hungry tummy rumbled and began to cry. The cat remembered that it was market day, and perhaps we could buy a pumpkin, he said. Let's go, quacked the duck, and he ran off ahead with the basket. Duck is just so hungry. Poor little duck. And the cat and the squirrel, they have beets in their hands. At the woodland market, there were vegetable stalls, heaped with peas and beans, eggplants, onions, parsnips. Sadly, not a pumpkin to be found. And soon Duck grumbled that his feet were sore, and he cried and he fussed and he whimmed to go home. Buy something quick, said the cat. So the squirrel bought the beets. They're brown and they're ugly, but the cat and the squirrel were ready to leave. Poor Duck, he cannot get a pumpkin. And here's their little house. Can you see their little house? It is so cute. Home in the cabin, the cat peeled the beets, sliced them, and popped them in the pot. While the squirrel stirred, and it looked pretty good, the duck didn't help. He lay in bed with a headache. Poor duck. Beet soup, the best you've ever tasted, made by the cat and the squirrel for the duck, who took one look. Uh-oh. I'm not eating it. It's pink. He won't eat it because it's pink. He wants orange. He won't eat it. You deserve to starve, growled the squirrel. But all I want is pumpkin soup, howled the duck. And that's orange. Then there was trouble, a horrible squabble, a hullabaloo in the old white cabin. Uh-oh, they're having a little fight. I'll trick him, whispered the cat. While the others ran a bath, he slipped away with the basket again. This time he brought home some yellow zucchini, the ripest tomatoes, carrots, and corn. When no one was watching, he peeled them and sliced them. He chopped them and he diced them and squashed them. He plopped them into the cooking pot. See their big cooking pot? They put everything in. That ought to do it, he said to himself. Exactly the color of pumpkin soup. The duck peered into the cooking pot. That looks like pumpkin soup, he said. He rushed to scoop up a pipkin of salt with a pinch of pepper and dropped them while the squirrel was stirring. They all stirred, and soon it was soup slurping time. Scrumptious, said the cat. Nutritious, said the squirrel. The hungry duck had another look. He sniffed the soup suspiciously, took a tiny sip, and quacked. This isn't pumpkin soup, he said. But it's the best soup I've ever tasted. Let's eat the whole pot. But, In case we didn't notice over here, we had some little bugs that were doing some mischief. You see those little bugs? And they've got a little bitty little tube there. And that tube is ciphering. When you cipher something, you kind of suck it out of something else. They ciphered all the soup out. Oh, no. So now the duck finally found something he likes, but the bugs got it. And they are having a party. The bugs got all the soup, and they're having a big party. They're running their little business, and all their friends are coming to eat. So what do you think about that? That poor little duck never did get his pumpkin, but they did have some delicious soup, didn't they? So I think you're all tired of reading. How about let's make our little jack-o'-lantern. Now you can have a seat at the table. This is what we are making. And what I did was take just 2 paper plates, and in the center of your paper plates, you want to do it as bright of a yellow as you can. Now, the outer part of it, you can go ahead and make it orange, or you could do it brown or green, whatever you want. And then this part here is the little jack-o'-lantern himself. Now, I drew some eyes and a mouth on it. You can cut them out. If they're too hard to cut out, an adult would have to do it because they're hard to cut out. Or you can just make little paper ones and put them in there. But the whole idea of cutting them out and you put them on top, then you can see the yellow through. And if you put it in a window or on a lampshade, it glows. You can see right through it and you can see the yellow. And then the little stem, of course, of your pumpkin up here, you want to do that brown, green, whatever you want. Then I cut out a few little extra leaves to put on top, like you see on this one, and you can glue them on. Now, also, after you paint them the colors you want, if you want to stick the little pieces of paper on there, you can. If not, if they're colored orange or painted orange, that's all you need. So here we go. Oh, and I also put a hole in the top of it so you can hang it up. I used the little hole puncher, and I used a pipe cleaner because it's stiff, but you can use a string.
She just needs the top part.
And here you go, okay?
Now we're going to get a yellow marker and we're going to color this yellow.
You want to color that center as bright of a yellow as you can have.